London, a first look at the controversial Silvertown Tunnel in action after it opened this morning. Hello, good to have you with us. 13 years after it was first announced, the Silvertown Tunnel opened this morning. It links Newham in the north with Greenwich in the south under the River Thames. City Hall says it'll relieve congestion and reduce journeys at peak times, but opponents fear it'll just move the traffic and pollution elsewhere. Both the new tunnel and the existing Blackwall Tunnel will be tolled from today. Our transport correspondent Tom Edwards has been to take a look.
Can a road tunnel be green? The Mayor thinks so, and this morning caught a zero-emissions bus through the new Silvertown Tunnel. Are you embarrassed a bit that you are opening a road tunnel?
I'm so excited. We've managed to have this tunnel open on time, on budget. The improvements there are for those in South East London are humongous. The green package means cyclists get to go from one side of the river to the other for the first time ever, and it's going to be for free. Pedestrians can go from one side of the river to the other for free, one of our buses.
There are 21 free buses an hour and this a bus for bikes. TfL hopes the Silvertown will cut congestion at the crossing, but there are big questions about pollution, and larger HGVs will now be able to use it, and there's opposition.
I feel angry, I feel disappointed, I feel sorry for the children in the future who have to put up with this extra traffic, extra pollution. That money should have been spent on something reducing carbon emissions for the climate crisis and reducing air pollution.
From today, vehicles will also have to pay to use the Silvertown and the Blackwall Tunnel next door. TfL says tolls control congestion and pollution.
It's extra slow clockwise heading round to the QE2 bridge this morning, which is, of course, a toll, but a cheaper toll at this time of the morning.
Anecdotally, there seemed to be more traffic on the Dartford crossing. For Louise, a teacher in Hackney, using Silvertown will now mean an extra £8 a day.
As a teacher, it would be nice to get some kind of discount as a key worker, someone who puts back into the community. Going on public transport isn't really an option for me because I have to carry a lot of books around. I'm an English teacher, so yeah, it's really frustrating.
There will be bigger tests ahead for this crossing. Roads were quieter due to the Easter holidays. But for the first time in over 20 years, road charging has returned to the capital. Tom Edwards, BBC London.
Two 16-year-olds have been charged with murder after a 17-year-old boy was stabbed to death in Shepherd's Bush. Police say Kieran Charles died at the scene near East Acton Station on Saturday lunchtime. Campaigners say catapult attacks on birds and animals at a park in Kent are becoming a daily occurrence. They say gangs of young boys are using slingshots to kill and maim wildlife. They're now calling for tighter regulation around the sale and possession of them. And just a warning, you might find some of the images in Aisha Baksha's story upsetting.
It's a tranquil spot for both people and wildlife, but over the last few years, Priory Gardens in Orpington has become a target for all the wrong reasons. These distressing pictures show birds who've been attacked with catapults and ammunition such as steel ball bearings. Jackie Mitchell is a volunteer here and says it's now become a daily occurrence.
Seen a Canada goose being killed by two kids by catapult, and I saw it writhing around in pain and dying in front of my eyes. That was horrific.
Save our wildlife, stop the catapults!
And this weekend, local residents and campaigners held a protest at the park, calling for better protection for its wildlife and stronger laws around catapults.
And it's just not right. Something has to be done on a local level, government level. You can't carry on like this. It's just not fair and it's just cruel. It's just cruel.
These people or children, they start off with wildlife and animals, but then they progress onto other things. So it's not just Priory Gardens, it's across the board.
Something's definitely wrong.
It's not illegal for anyone to buy or carry a catapult. The park protest was organised by wildlife campaigner May Galal, who says the legislation needs changing.
So we need to introduce regulation around the sale and carrying of catapults. They are potentially a very dangerous weapon. A child should not be able to access a weapon that can cause so much damage to people, animals, property.
The Met Police say an investigation into the attacks is ongoing, and 2 teenagers were recently arrested in Orpington and catapults seized. And while an online petition to the government is gathering support, the Home Office say there are legitimate catapult owners, but the issue is under review. Aisha Baksh, BBC London.
Next, there are nearly 600,000 unpaid carers in London, but very few get any respite. One charity is trying to connect carers with hotels that have spare capacity where they can stay for free. It provides an opportunity for them to get some rest without a cost to the already stretched social care sector. And as Victoria Hollins reports, it's proved a lifeline for some.
Gabrielle is a full-time carer for her son Arlo. She says he's a cuddly, energetic and special little boy. But he also has autism and finds it hard to communicate.
Being a parent to a child with special needs is so much more than just being a parent. I have to constantly keep an eye on him and you don't get a break.
But Gabrielle and her partner did recently get to go away for free thanks to the charity Carefree. It connects unpaid carers with hotels that have spare capacity.
I think the first thing for carers is that they feel recognised. They are a very much invisible part of our society when it comes to who is providing the backbone of our health and social care system.
There are more than 590,000 unpaid carers in London, contributing nearly £19 billion to the capital's economy every year. Susan Copping has been the full-time carer for her 103-year-old mum for 10 years. She's just spent 2 nights at a hotel in Islington via the Carefree charity.
She's absolutely wonderful, but it is pretty full on now, especially in the last 2 or 3 years. So the recharge is just being off duty.
Hotels have provided almost 13,000 carer breaks for free so far.
The fact that we can give this unsold room for people for better use and to really recognise them was a no-brainer for us. When they come, they don't just come to stay the night. They have a packed agenda. They go and see shows. They do sing. They go and see, art exhibitions and so on.
Finding interim care is still a huge challenge for many families, but for those that can, the impact of a short break away can be life-changing.
The buzz you get from just being recharged and switching off, even for one night, just one night away, it's made my mind open up now.
Victoria Hollins, BBC London.
What a wonderful idea. Just before we get the weather, you might have noticed that tulips, like these ones, are beginning to spring up across the capital. If you've seen some near you, then please take a picture and send it in to us with your name and location. Either WhatsApp us, just scan the QR code on your screen now, or via email. It's hellobbclondon@bbc.co.uk, and we'll try and include as many as we can in our programme tonight. Now, here's Kate.
Good afternoon. High pressure remains in charge, so it looks like this week is set to be dry and sunny. This was earlier. You can see really not much cloud in the sky at all, and as we continue into the afternoon, it's more of the same. Perhaps a little bit of fair weather cloud bubbling up, but you can see across the south of the UK really hasn't been any cloud around this morning. We have got a bit of a breeze. It's an easterly, so the Essex coast is always going to be that little bit cooler. 13 Celsius perhaps at best there, but further inland, away from the breeze, around 17 in the sunshine. Overnight, it's dry and it's clear, and as a result, the temperature is going to get quite chilly. We're looking at a minimum of 0, so could just see a little bit of frost first thing tomorrow morning. But it's a bright start, perhaps a little bit of mist first thing, but that will lift. Tuesday afternoon, again, a bit of fair weather cloud possible. The temperatures tomorrow reaching 18 Celsius. Now, that high pressure is going to stay with us, not only through Tuesday and Wednesday, but really until the end of this week. So we've got plenty of fine and dry weather in the forecast. Could see a little bit of cloud first thing in the morning on Wednesday and Thursday, but that will burn back again to sunshine. And by the end of the week, the temperature getting warmer. We're looking at a maximum on Friday and Saturday of around 22 Celsius.
That's all from BBC London. Plenty more on our website, including the donkeys taking on an unusual job at a London school. It's back to the rest of the BBC News.